Here the question is, a cone is cut at the midpoint of its height by a plane parallel to its base. So here there is a cone whose vertical height is h, or more precisely small h. Now it is cut at the midpoint of the height by a plane parallel to its base. It means it is cut like this. Okay. Now, since it is cut at the midpoint of the height, so the height of the smaller cone becomes h by 2. Now, when a bigger cone is cut by a plane parallel to its base, we'll obtain two parts, that is small cone, smaller cone, this, and a frustum. This is the frustum. Now you have to find the ratio between the volumes of the two such parts. It means you have to find the ratio of the volumes of smaller cone and the frustum. Okay. Now here, number one observation you made is height of the smaller cone becomes half to that of the bigger one. Similarly, the radius of the smaller cone becomes half to that of the bigger one. That means if small r is the radius of bigger cone, then the radius of the smaller cone becomes r by 2. But how? Now since cone is a three-dimensional figure, now if you observe this in 2 dimensions, you'll obtain a triangle. Now if you cut this triangle at midpoint of its height parallel to its baseline or base, then this line must be half of the base. So with the same property, the radius of the smaller cone becomes half to that of bigger one. Now since here we are finding the relation between the volumes, we will see 3 dimensions used in the volume. So here the volume is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Okay. Here radius is in 2 dimension because it is r square, and height is the 3rd dimension. Now each dimension is reducing to half, that we have already discussed. So the volume of the smaller cone becomes half into half. These two half are for r square into half. One more half is for height. So it is 1 by 8 of volume of the bigger cone. Volume of the bigger cone. So here you can also say that if 1 is the volume of smaller cone, then the bigger cone must be 8. Okay. And now since frustum, bigger cone, is divided into 2 parts, that is small cone and frustum, and if big cone is 8, smaller cone is 1, then frustum must be 8 minus 1, that is 7. And you have to find the ratio between the volumes of smaller cone and frustum, which is 1:7. So option 2 is the correct answer to this question.